Good evening, Belize, and welcome to XTV's news broadcast for Monday, June 9, 2025. Making the headlines tonight, High Court admits suffering cyber attack. Union leaders reject government new proposal, deeming it disrespectful. Alcohol may have been involved in crash that led to siblings' death. And first rain, now rodents issue at Raccoon Street Police Station. We take our first break and return with the news in detail.
Earn B-Bucks and get a chance to win a $10,000 homecation with Benny's. Quality and savings.
In the heart of a thriving country, Atlantic Bank stands as more than just a financial institution. We are family and your steadfast partner in success throughout every step of your journey. Our unwavering focus remains on continually enhancing your experience through innovation. From the traditional banking services to cutting-edge online and mobile banking services, we make your life easy, convenient, and secure. We deeply value the relationships and trust placed in us over the years. This trust has enabled us to support and realize the dreams of our personal customers, be the driving force behind the development of micro, small, and medium businesses, and the preferred partner to our corporate clients. We are committed to serving our communities and making a positive impact. By prioritizing financial inclusion, we ensure that everyone has access to the financial tools and resources they need to thrive. We are your partner in progress, serving you with excellence and professionalism and providing real-life solutions. Today and for generations to come, let's continue building the future together.
Imagine getting rewards for your spending. Smart prepaid customers countrywide, it's time to level up with Smart Gains. Smart Gains are exclusive, limited-time offers sent straight to your phone. We're talking irresistible rewards you'll actually want: extra credit, bonus data, and exclusive perks, all tailored to you. Because at Smart, we've always got your back. Don't miss out on rewards made just for you. Smart Gains, Smart Savings, Smart You. Smart, bringing people together.
Whether the job is big or small, every super handy dad needs the right tools. And at Brothers Habet and Habet, we have what you need. Enjoy super savings all June like 15% off all power tools and hand tools, 25% off track car batteries, Eureka Vats, and Pisaforte tiles, 25% off Pentadecon and discontinued colors, 30% off Valspar, and 40% off Dutch Boy paints. Plus, we're giving away $200 to 6 lucky super handy dads. Every $50 you spend gets you a chance to win. So this year, give Dad his best gift yet from Brother Isabet and Habet. Come in or reach out today. Happy Father's Day to all super handy dads.
Welcome back with your news. I am Drea Espinosa. The senior courts today finally admitted that the IT issues they confirmed last week were actually a cyber attack, as we had reported. Despite the admission, however, the court remains vague about the crippling situation. In its statement today, it says the cyber attack was identified by their IT staff, who are working with an incident response team to assess and remedy the breach. Thereafter, they state only that the courts remain, quote, committed to delivering judicial services to all court users, and we are working to fully restore the IT systems as quickly and safely as possible. We will provide further updates as more information becomes available, end quote. We are told that the cyber attack continues to impact court appearances and schedules. In the case of one jurisdiction, sources say hearings are being truncated so that their computer devices can be sent for scanning. Members of the Joint Unions Negotiating Team, JUNT, met Friday in Belize City to discuss the latest proposal from the government on the request for an 8.5% salary increase for public sector workers. After the 4-hour meeting, the union officials rejected the proposal. Nadia Martin Kaliz, the president of the Belize National Teachers Union, BNTU, called the proposal disrespectful and a regression from the first counter proposal. She stated, quote, "You are offering us 4% with one hand, and on the other hand, you are talking about pension, which the rate is 5% annually," end quote. The three unions were polling their membership this weekend on the counter proposal, but according to Sharon Fraser, the president of the Association of Public Service Senior Managers, their request for a salary increase was never meant to be conditional on pension reform, but rather based on the increasing cost of living and inflation. She stated that pension reform discussions had been ongoing from before the request for a salary increase. As to the remark from the financial secretary that the government may just have to raise taxes to afford the salary increase, Martin Kaliz commented that it is merely a tactic for the unions to lose the public's support. She also referenced a report that the government intends to turn the Belize Tax Service into a statutory body, and she expressed their disagreement with such a move.
The people at the top pay very little, and those at the bottom, we understand they take home small change, so we understand that. All we were asking for is for them to have a tax system that allows people to pay based on what they earn, but they continue to ignore that. They give millions away to investors, and they expect this group of public officers and teachers to continue to sacrifice for the country. And I understand the whole idea of fiscal incentive, but you don't have to be giving every single thing away because a friend of yours will get a contract on the side to do something. No, we need to go with that mentality and that behavior. Now the FinSec, with the last administration and the Honorable Dean Barrow, they used them for the same thing. So everybody used the FinSec. Brother, wait, I'm tired of you being used. Please let them use you for the right reason. Please let them use it for the right reason. And you know what is the right reason, Brother Wait? Look at all the budgets for the different ministries and show them where cuts can be made so that these hard-working brothers and sisters can get their 8.5%. But not for the sake of scaring the Belizean populace. Stop it, man. Please stop it. Stop it.
BNTU National President Nadia Martin Kaliz had confirmed that charges will be dropped against teachers from the Stan Creek branch who protested in Dangriga on June 4th. On Friday, she shared that she had received a call earlier in the day notifying that the charges would be dropped. As it relates to her meeting with Commissioner Richard Rosado, Martin Callis said they agreed that when they are, quote, out there, they will keep us safe, end quote. She also reminded the government that the unions are asking for a salary increase that is way less than what they promised in their manifestos.
I must say the meeting went well. And my source, which is very reliable, showed me a message that says that there's a warrant out for my arrest. And I wanted to know, what did I do? What did I do? But the meeting was for us to look at what transpired in Stan Creek and any action that we want to take in the future, for us to remember that we need to be law-abiding citizens. And they have agreed that when we are out there, they will keep us safe. And I appreciate that very much. And I also shared with him that I do not want anybody to think that they're just going to grab me and do whatever they want with me because I'm the leader. I prize my freedom. And so the way I carry myself is because I'm mindful of that. But don't be looking for things just to come at me because there's so many people in support of what the teachers are doing. I don't prescribe to that. Allow us to operate the way people ought to function in a democratic country. And right now, there are two things I want to weigh in on while you ask me that question. The government just got a new mandate. Some people believe that we should have done this before election. No! This is perfect timing because there was a manifesto that you shared with the people. And now this is for us to prove whether or not you're serious behind that. You're serious with what is in that manifesto. Don't come to us with pretty promises and then later on you don't want to deliver. Because what we're asking for comes from Plan Billy's which one? 2.10? 1.0? Thank you. And you said 20. We're not finished. You said 20% and we were asking for 8.5. But we are coming to you now with 8.5 and you are showing us all of these expenses. And government is not being honest when they talk about the millions that they're sharing as it pertains to the cost of the wage bill. No. We want them to show us the figure, show us the name, show us everything. Don't just be throwing things out there to the public, scaring everybody. Because from behind the scenes now, our people who have access to that system is telling us that the figure that the PM and all of them are pointing out is ballooned. So we're not going to sit here like we are crazy and we are stupid and we don't understand what's going on. Listen, show us the figures.
As top cop, Dr. Richard Rosado now shoulders the great responsibility of overseeing the machinery and human resources that are tasked with ensuring public safety while navigating the scrutiny that comes with the high office. Today, Dr. Rosado was asked to speak about the meeting with the union leader and to respond to the pointed criticism from Public Union Service President Dean Flowers.
I believe the meeting was productive, it was fruitful. We recognize that the plight that the teachers and the unions and the public officers are going through. But our discussion mainly centered about doing their protests within the context of the law and within the ensuring that we have an open dialogue moving forward. And the unions have committed to having an open dialogue. We also recognize that the situation in Dangriga, as highlighted by the union, was an anomaly in respect to all other demonstrations across the country. For the most part, the unions have been peaceful in terms of doing their demonstration, and we welcome that, and we ask them to continue to dialogue with us.
So would you respond? Consideration made when you decided to drop these charges?
Well, the union brought to us additional evidential material for us to consider in our deliberation to withdraw the charges.
How would you respond to the PSU president sort of calling you out, saying that you're weaponizing the police department, that he called you a puppet? You know, it was a plethora of commentary against you.
It is difficult, or I should say, I should be careful in what I will say, but it is difficult for me to respond to someone who does not understand the dynamics of policing, who does not understand the challenges in policing. I believe that individual just wants to spew nonsense for his own aggrandizement. But I want to ask you in the media to ask him how his phone number connected to him is linked to a high-profile investigation involving public officers.
We note that Dr. Rosado did not provide more details about the investigation he says involved Flowers. Flowers had insinuated the allegation will end in court. Upon exiting last Thursday's meeting with the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital Authority Workers Union, Financial Secretary Joseph Waite commented that the request would amount to quite a substantial figure. Well, it now appears that the parties walked away with differing views of what was discussed and agreed at the meeting. Our reports are that there has been an exchange of letters since Thursday, with the union disputing the government side understanding of where they are in their negotiations. The government's position, as we understand it, is that at a February 17th meeting, it proposed to provide the 4% contribution that should have been provided by the KHMH to a provident fund that started in 2001 when the facility was established. Further to that, the government says that at last Thursday's meeting, the union asked for the contribution to be 7% rather than 4%, and as such, they have to discuss this with the Prime Minister and committed to provide a response to the union on June 20. However, our reports are that the union clarified that the 4% retroactive contribution was used merely as an example, not as an actual proposal, and that its membership is requesting that a pension be established, not a provident fund. Whereas the government has asked that industrial action be put on pause while negotiations are ongoing, the union says the membership will have the say on this. In other news, siblings 21-year-old Sydney Montenegro and 20-year-old David Montenegro perished after the vehicle David was driving Sunday flipped and crashed after 5 p.m. between miles 62 and 63 on the Thomas Vincent Ramos Highway. Sydney was ejected from the vehicle. They were traveling from Medina Bank to Bella Vista village in the south. 42-year-old Asuncion Tush, a teacher from Independence Village, who was traveling with them, received multiple injuries and was transported to the hospital for treatment. The Football Federation of Belize has lamented the passing of the siblings. They were from Costa Rica, but in 2023, Sydney joined Sagitun Girls and contributed to their victory in the Premier Women's League of Belize Championship on May 31. Her brother, who had just graduated from Independence High School the day before their passing, was always at her side as her greatest supporter. The FFB writes, quote, Sydney and David lived with purpose and left behind a legacy of love, unity, and strength, end quote. ASP Stacey Smith shed some light on the tragic accident.
The scene of the accident has been processed and an inspection is slated to be carried out on the vehicle to ascertain what, if any, clarity it can provide in relation to the cause of the accident. We do not have any clear indication of that so far. However, we can confirm that alcohol bottles were viewed on the scene.
On a lighter note, on Sunday, Cara Young secured a second Tony Award win, making her only the first Black performer to win back-to-back Tonys. She won in the category Best Featured Actress in a Play for her performance as Aziza in Purpose. Last season, she won in the same category for her performance of Ludi Bell in Pearly Victorious. This was Young's fourth nomination for a Tony, having been first recognized for her role in Clyde's in 2022, and then for her performance in Cost of Living the following year. Next season, Young will star alongside Scandal star Kerry Washington and the Whoopi Monologues, which is a reimagining of Whoopi Goldberg's 1984 solo show. Young was born to Belizean parents Clay Young Sr. and Vanessa Jenkins in Harlem, New York. Meanwhile, on Friday, it was Belize's Jaiven Gonzalez participating for the first time in the St. Francis Tulsa Tough Races, who secured victory with a sprint in the Category 1 McAnally's Group Blue Dome Criterium. The highly regarded Tulsa Tough Races attract elite cyclists for some fast-paced, high-level competition. Gonzalez had Derek Chavarria to thank as he put in the legwork with constant pressure that saw him outpace his proficient competitors in the men's category. I miss a lot of words.
The Belize Police Department, the Raccoon Street Police Station, are currently in the process of...
On the second day of the race, Chavarria claimed the top spot, winning in the FC Tulsa Arts District Criterium. It was also Chavarria's first time participating in the prestigious Tulsa races. The races that are part of the American Criterium Cup came to an end on Sunday with the McElroy River Parks Criterium. Notably, Chavarria also secured the win for that one. After the break, PUC rules and regulation need to be changed before approval of electricity rate increase. Stay with us.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Desde pequeñas mejoras en casa hasta trabajos industriales, Sherwin-Williams tiene la pintura perfecta para cada proyecto. Confiada por los profesionales y diseñada para ofrecer belleza y durabilidad, nuestras pinturas y recubrimientos garantizan un trabajo impecable. Disponible en Design Depot y a través de nuestros distribuidores autorizados en Orange Rock y Corozal, Sherwin-Williams, su marca de confianza en pintura.
Design Depot. Todo en un solo lugar.
Whether you are a busy person or stuck in traffic or having an adverse or very demanding circumstance, tension builds up, causing you to be stressed out. Stress attacks everyone, anytime, any age. And stress is a killer. Palm City? It's best to be alive than dead. So visit Freetown Drugstore to get options to relieve stress and to relax your mind.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you today?
I'm so stressed out.
Okay, I'm saying I can help right now. When I this daily, for 10 days, I am good after that, okay?
Okay.
Freetown Drugstore, 28 Freetown Road, where you are better off alive than dead. Freetown Drugstore, telephone 223-2876.
Last week, there were reports of a leaking roof at the Raccoon Street Police Station in Belize City. It prompted the Ministry of Home Affairs to issue an extended release addressing the urgent need for maintenance of our aging infrastructure. Subsequently, reports emerged of the stench of dead rodents in the upper floors of the three-story building. ASP Stacy Smith addressed the matter today.
The Belize Police Department, the Raccoon Street Police Station, are currently in the process of addressing a situation as it relates to rodents. The department has taken the necessary steps to address the issues, and we are of the view that a resolution will be brought about shortly. We have contacted the relevant authorities and the relevant experts in the field to assist.
This is a part of growing issue, infrastructural issue at the Raccoon Street Police Station. Leaks in the building, rodents. Now, how are officers at that precinct coping with this sort of working environment?
Well, I believe the issue of rodent is one that is common in the city, and the important thing is that it is being adequately addressed. As it relates to the leakages, the incident that had made wave on social media was as a consequence of a hatch being left open, and that created the situation. However, I believe the minister had indicated that there are plans to relocate. In the interim, the police officers are taking the necessary steps to protect themselves, as their health is certainly of paramount interest, and we certainly need them to be in the best of condition to provide the service the Belize people deserve.
In April this year, Belize Electricity Limited, BEL, had asked the Public Utilities Commission, PUC, for a 7.5% or 3-cent increase in the rate of electricity, going from 40 cents to 43 cents per kilowatt hour. If approved, the new rate would have applied from January 1, 2026 through to June 30, 2028. The PUC issued its initial decision on May 16 and notes that BEL's submission is actually forecasting an, quote, increase in the mean electricity rate that would yield $0.4547 per kilowatt hour, end quote. However, the PUC has ruled in its initial decision that under existing bylaws, BEL's tariffs cannot be adjusted midway through a full tariff period. As such, the existing rates are to remain through to June 30, 2028. At the same time, the PUC notes that this has brought to light the urgent need for the overhaul of the bylaws and considers that this should be done before the end of 2025. Once that happens, BEL can then resubmit its application for a rate increase. We note that on May 29, BEL responded to the PUC, providing an alternative interpretation of the bylaws, which it says would allow the PUC to consider and approve rate adjustments that may take effect during a tariff period. Two staff members from the Office of the Auditor General demonstrated at lunchtime today in front of the Ministry of the Public Service in Belmopan. Among them was former President of the Public Service Union, Gerald Henry. Their placards read that promotions should be based on qualifications and experience and according to the public service regulations. He argues that politics and personal biases are seeping into decisions, leading to unqualified public officers being allowed to supersede others.
I think that we are pretty much exposing some of the things that a lot of our public officers are suffering in silence. Right? I know that I've spoken to several public officers and they have told me that some of these very same issues with regards to not being promoted and being perfectly qualified and experienced, but they have been overlooked and superseded by those who are less experienced and less qualified, such as myself. No, I got my master's degree in 2016 and from the University of West Indies, and to date I have not been promoted. Right? I just recently, I think in April, submitted for promotion to the supervisor of audit position, and the Ministry of the Public Service just outrightly rejected it, right? Without giving me any reason whatsoever. And one of the other things that we are working on today is the performance appraisals grades, right? As you may know, performance appraisal, as it states, is based on your performance, right? And the performance should be on the task that they assign to you, right, or to us. We, in 2022, we were told officially not to do any work in the Office of the Auditor General. I mean, absolutely nothing. Myself, my colleague, and another colleague from Belize City, all three of us having master's degree, right? And we were told to do absolutely nothing in the office from October 18, 2022. Now the question is, so what would be my appraisal grade, right? Since I can do nothing perfectly, and that's the task that you gave me, to do nothing. So when the appraisal time came around, we were expecting to get the maximum, which is 10, right? Because the grading scale goes from 1 to 10. Much to our surprise, we actually got zeros, and that's on this placard right here. Yeah. Now, how can you give me 0 if on the form itself it says that the scale is from 1 to 10? What motivates you to give me a 0? A while ago we wrote to the Public Service Commission and we didn't get any response from them. We ended up getting a response from the Ministry of the Public Service telling us to go back to the very same individual who we are complaining about to get relief. Yeah. That's just totally ridiculous.
Henry said protesting is their last resort. His message is also to other public officers that they too can come out and voice their concerns. As we reported last week, the latest 30-day state of emergency that started on May 6th came to an end on Thursday evening when all detainees were released. The new commissioner, Dr. Richard Rosado, has advocated for SOEs that could last anywhere between 6 and 12 months. However, he stated that this one has served its purpose. It was the first.
I believe the state of emergency was a necessary measure that we needed to take. It was a necessary measure that is within the legal framework in order for us to address the critical situation at the time. And it has now given us the opportunity to put things in place to be able to more proactively address the crime situation on the grounds.
I know one of the main reasons too was to continue with the investigations that were ongoing. Were there many arrests made during that time?
Yes, I am happy to say that during that time it allowed the investigators to also conduct their investigation without any hindrance from the criminal elements. And we have seen that during that time they made 3 arrests of 3 violent crimes, including 2 murders.
Last week, there was a second charter deportation flight that came in with just over a dozen Belizeans. The police department confirmed that only one of those persons was of interest to them.
One compliance letter was issued. The other persons were not issued with compliance letter.
What do you mean by compliance letter?
This is the letter that is provided for under the Summary Jurisdiction Offences Act, which requires the deported person to sign in at a station that is convenient to their address for a period as stated in the letter.
And the rest.
As a follow-up to the previous flight wherein Mr. Jody Ramdas was detained, Mr. Ramdas is currently at the Colby Foundation on the strength of a commitment warrant as a consequence of a matter that he had before the court. And he's pending applications for bail revocation as the conditions in relation to that bail included the fact that he should have signed in and he ought not to have left the jurisdiction.
After the break, police investigate discovery of 2 decomposing bodies, and police investigated for theft of $11 at checkpoint. Stay tuned.
Imagine getting rewards for your spending. Smart prepaid customers countrywide, it's time to level up with Smart Gains. Smart Gains are exclusive, limited time offers sent straight to your phone. We're talking irresistible rewards. You'll actually want extra credit, bonus data, and exclusive perks, all tailored to you. Because at Smart, we've always got your back. Don't miss out on rewards made just for you. Smart Gains, Smart Savings, Smart You. Smart, bringing people together.
In the heart of a thriving country, Atlantic Bank stands as more than just a financial institution. We are family and your steadfast partner in success throughout every step of your journey. Our unwavering focus remains on continually enhancing your experience through innovation. From the traditional banking services to cutting-edge online and mobile banking services, we make your life easy, convenient, and secure. We deeply value the relationships and trust placed in us over the years. This trust has enabled us to support and realize the dreams of our personal customers, be the driving force behind the development of micro, small, and medium businesses, and the preferred partner to our corporate clients. We are committed to serving our communities and making a positive impact. By prioritizing financial inclusion, we ensure that everyone has access to the financial tools and resources they need to thrive. We are your partner in progress, serving you with excellence and professionalism and providing real-life solutions. Today and for generations to come, let's continue building the future together.
Earn V-Bucks and get a chance to win a $10,000 homecation with Benny's. Quality and savings.
Police are investigating the separate deaths of 2 men whose bodies were found in an advanced state of decomposition. Here again is ASP Stacy Smith.
The first occurred in Unitedville, where on Wednesday, 4th June, police visited a cemetery in Unitedville, Coyote District, where they observed the body of a male person. Someone has since come forward and identified the body as being a relative of theirs. However, because of the advanced state of decomposition, DNA testing is required to do a more positive identification. The body of this male person that was discovered in Unitedville exhibited apparent gunshot wounds, and it now awaits a post-mortem examination at the National Forensic and Science Services Laboratory.
So this case is a murder investigation at this point?
Yes, because of the injuries, the gunshot wounds that were observed.
Any suspects at this time?
Police would have detained a male person initially who they believe may be able to assist in the investigation.
Does police believe that he may have been killed somewhere else and then come here? Because residents in the area say that they have not heard any gunshots.
There is no information thus far that leads to a conclusion one way or the other.
Second body?
In relation to the second incident, on Friday, 6 June, at approximately 11:30 a.m., police were called to an area behind the University of Belize gymnasium where they observed the body of a male person that was suspended from a tree. The body was in an advanced state of decomposition. However, it bore documents that may be able to assist in the identification of this person. Consequently, as of now, it is suspected to be the body of Benan Sokok, who was last seen on May 3rd, 2025. However, because of the advanced state of decomposition, the police will be undertaking the necessary steps to have a DNA analysis done for a more positive identification, and the body now awaits a post-mortem.
Cook was last seen on May 3rd, and while it has not been concluded that it was a suicide, Cook's family rejects that narrative. They believe foul play is involved. 2 police constables are being investigated following a report of theft made by a man who says he was robbed of $11 during a stop and search in Belize City. Here is ASP Stacy Smith.
Edlin Perez reported to police that on 8 June 2025 at approximately 9:25 p.m., he was riding on Orange Street contrary to the flow of traffic, and he was intercepted by 2 police officers who conducted a search on him. At the conclusion of that search, Mr. Perez alleges that one of the police officers requested money that was in his possession, and he handed it over, which amounts to approximately $11. Having made this report, police conducted an investigation where the scene was visited and statements were recorded from the implicated officers. The internal investigation as well as the criminal investigation continues into this matter.
There are reports that denominations were found inside a vehicle, either the patrol vehicle or a vehicle belonging to one of these officers that is suspectedly attached to the incident.
I cannot confirm that to be the case.
Is it only $11 involved in this? Did the person report of larger sum of monies going missing?
The report that we have states $11.
Nothing more than that.
Nothing more than that.
The outcome of the investigation will determine the fate of the officers. In other police news, 2 men were injured in a chopping incident that occurred Saturday during a brawl in the Los Lagos community. The men were identified as 47-year-old Jose Marvin Sosa, who received a stab wound to the upper left knee, and Charles West, who had a chop wound to the back of the head, the right palm, and lower back and face. According to Sosa, he was injured when he tried to intervene in a fight between West and another man. Police say the men are not cooperating in their investigation. In La Democracia, there was also a chopping and stabbing involving 2 villagers known each other. The incident occurred at around 9:50 p.m. Sunday. Both men were injured to the upper part of the body. They have been identified as Tyrone Godoy and Paul Smith. One was armed with a machete and the other with a knife. Police are currently recording statements with a view to levy charges. And on a point of interest, Prime Minister John Briceño departed the country on June 7th to attend the United Nations Oceans Conference 2025 in Nice, France. He returns on June 15. While he is away, Deputy Prime Minister Cordell Hyde will act as Prime Minister. The objective of the high-level meeting is to support the implementation of Sustainable Development Goal 14 that addresses the conservation and sustainable use of our oceans, seas, and marine resources. The conference is being co-hosted by France and Costa Rica under the theme Accelerating Action and Mobilizing All Actors to Conserve and Sustainably Use the Ocean. And with that, we've come to the end of our newscast. The repeat can be viewed on this station later tonight at 9 and again tomorrow at midday. Join us again tomorrow for another news broadcast. I am Drea Espinosa. Have a safe and enjoyable evening.